Hi, Catalina here, coming to you on June 28th. There's some interesting news updates for the beginning of July, especially for those with FedLoan servicing. Their contract is ending, so I want to talk a little bit about that. I also want to talk about who during this pandemic has benefited the most from this payment pause. If you're a public servant, just know that these 30 months count towards loan forgiveness. If you are just going straight up for IDR forgiveness, then these 30 months also count towards IDR forgiveness, saving over 2 years of payments for either program. So we're going to talk a little bit about FedLoan servicing changes and who benefited the most during this pause. Okay, that's the news for today. Next week, I'll have more personal news about the tiny house. It's finally delivered. Super excited to share, but I promised you all a tour. It's not quite ready yet, so that will be coming down the pipeline after our wonderful 4th of July holiday. So let me do a little bit of screen share here so I can share some of this news with you all. Okay, let me decrease this. Okay, so first and foremost, oh my gosh, so many ads, right? 2 million people are about to get a new servicer, although FedLoans definitely services more than 2 million people. So I think the estimate from CNN is off here, but disregard that number. If you have FedLoan servicing, obviously this is relevant to you. And it doesn't matter how many other millions, right? So they're transferring the public service loan forgiveness program, and those who have FedLoan servicing are going to get a new servicer. They're also known as Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency. The reason I say that is because sometimes they mention the transfer from servicer. They might mention that name instead of FedLoans, but it ends its contract with the government. They've been transferring apparently in multiple stages, although you probably as a borrower on the back end have not noticed it or felt it, but they're going to finalize the transfer in July. So in July, loans held by borrowers enrolled in public service loan forgiveness will be transferred to the Missouri Higher Education Loan Authority, known as MOHELA, which, by the way, that is my servicer. They're decent. They're decent. I wouldn't say they're the best, but they're decent. So that's not bad news. These transfers will continue throughout the summer, according to the Department of Education. So it's going to start in July, next week after the holiday, and it will go throughout the rest of the summer. So once a borrower indicates they want to enroll in this program, the loan is transferred to FedLoan. But FedLoan drew criticism from borrowers for making many errors and providing misinformation. So that's probably why LoanSense exists, because you can get a free plan through our website. And of course, our experts have your personalized information, can provide guidance. Unlike when you call up these servicers, they don't pull up your information and do not provide personalized guidance. So part of the reason FedLoans is transferring their servicing book for public service loan forgiveness is because it's too cumbersome to train $11 an hour call center workers on such a complex program that requires paperwork. Let's just be honest, right? So in 2021, as a result, they settled a lawsuit brought by Massachusetts Attorney General for violating state and federal consumer protection laws. And by the way, and they audited over 200,000 borrowers it's serviced. So apparently it did not do a good job with those 200,000 borrowers. And as a result, it's probably part of the driver that led Biden to temporarily expand eligibility for public service loan forgiveness, which means, by the way, you have until October. If anyone you know is working for nonprofit hospital system, please do send them to us, because they need to, or to just enroll in their own, but obviously we can help, is they have until October to enroll for the first time into public service loan forgiveness program if they've ever served for any nonprofit, government, or non-standard, like incorporated for-profit organization. If they work for any type of nonprofit at any point while they repay their student loans, they could be eligible for the public service loan forgiveness program. So they need to file by October if they want to be eligible for getting any kind of errors they have made, like i.e. not enrolling the program, but making payments, still considered for loan forgiveness, okay? So as a result of this program though, so everybody has till October to enroll, but as a result of this program, forgiveness has been provided to 145,000 borrowers already. And a bunch of our users have been recipients of that, and they reported their credit score being boosted by 50 to 100 points. So know that if you are eligible for complete forgiveness, it's going to positively impact your credit score, which makes me very happy. So, of course, you can expect to get a notice from your servicer before a transfer occurs. Try to download everything from your secure messaging. Obviously, download also your student loan file from the studentaid.gov site. You need help with that. Of course, we can help with that. We provide instructions on our web application, myloansense.com. But just make sure to have all your data before everything's transferred, just so you can double check it once it's transferred. Also, once it's transferred, do not forget before we enter repayment to set up auto debit again, because it ensures you won't make late payments and you won't get your credit dinged for that. So auto debit is a great thing once your servicer is transferred, because auto debit is generally not transferred from your old servicer to your new servicer that I know of. Not only is it not transferred, but because of this pause, they've canceled auto debit for those that had auto debit prior to the pause. So that's a big FYI that's coming up. The loans are being transferred, not sold. This means the change will not impact your existing terms. Keep that in mind. FedLoan also service non-PSLF borrowers. But the vast majority of non-PSLF loans will be going to servicers like AidVantage, EdFinance, or NowNet. So NowNet is also decent customer service. AidVantage is probably new to just direct servicing. And so I don't have much experience with them, but Ed Financial is one, but that they tend to be smaller. So I don't have as much experience personally with them either, but from working with a lot of borrowers, FedLoans, NowNet, those are big ones. And of course, Navient. But Navient all Navient federal loans will be transferred to AidVantage and will be serviced by, and loans that were serviced by Granite State will be transferred to Ed Financial. So that'll be complete by the end of the year. So FYI, I mentioned this already. If you qualify for the PSLF waiver, apply by October. And we're set to resume August 31st. So let's gear up, and we'll hopefully find out before then if there's $10,000 of relief. So that's the news on this side. Now let's talk about a little like who benefited the most from this time of loans. Whoops. I don't know what these sites are. Let me pull up the news. Whoops, now I'm opening my email and sharing it with everybody. Ha 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 ha, no. Okay, let's talk about let me see. Sorry, I should have my articles more organized. Let me pull up the article again because it was very interesting and I think we should definitely discuss it for a few minutes. It's regressive here. Let's do this. Okay, they talk about it being regressive and welfare for the rich because the median, because the higher amount you owe, like if you're a doctor or dentist, the higher your payments are, then the greater the amount of forgiveness if you apply into a forgiveness program. So for example, for those who earn a bachelor's degree and your loan payment's $225, then your total savings is $7,000, right? A little under that. But for those who have higher payments, then obviously, let's say you earn a master's degree, your payment's closer to 500, then the total savings is 13,000, especially if you qualify for forgiveness. But I have to give a caveat that this article really doesn't do a good job giving a caveat. 30 months of payments qualify for forgiveness, but not everyone is going to enroll in IDR to get forgiveness. So the fact that they're saying, well, this is welfare for the rich because these loans are going to get forgiven, that's untrue if you're not enrolling into a loan forgiveness program via via income-driven repayment or via public service loan forgiveness, and enrolling through that way. So the idea that it's automatically welfare for the rich is untrue, but I get the point that if you were a dentist or a doctor and has a $3,000 student loan payment, didn't pay for 30 months, and you get loan forgiveness, those 30 months qualify towards loan forgiveness, so you're receiving welfare. Okay, I understand that concept. But a lot of high earners also do not necessarily enroll into IBR or public service loan forgiveness, and they're not including that argument in here. So I just want to point that out, you know. So for example, your dentist or lawyer and your payments like almost $2,000, then you'll have received some type of relief of like $53,000. Again, that's assuming you never have to pay that back, but a lot of people will accelerate payment once the pause ends, right? So the point is, the higher in the income, the more your potential forgiveness. And so if you earn decent money and you have worked for a public service entity, or you do want to try to qualify for income-driven repayment, which will forgive your loans over 240 payments, then you need to enroll before October, like before this pause ends. So I would say before August 31st, and servicers are going to start backing up in August. So I'd say even July, like this coming month, because if you don't enroll, then these 30 months of pause payments will not qualify for forgiveness, which means you just get zero interest, but you won't actually qualify for these 30 months towards forgiveness if you file later and later. So the message is urgent. The higher payments, the more and more you can get advantage of forgiveness, then the sooner you need to be enrolling in these programs. And of course, we can always help, myloansense.com, okay? Either way, we give a completely free plan to every single borrower. So let me know in the comments if you want me to throw a webinar, like a live webinar where you can come and ask Q&A. Let me know. Happy to do that. Happy to do it on YouTube Live as well, like live stream it. And we can talk about how to prepare for getting kicked into repayment, right? I think that's a really good topic. Put in the comments below, like what questions you'd like me to answer if we do such webinar. And we're here on standby to answer all your questions. Again, myloansense.com. If you've liked this content, please hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button. If you know anybody who can benefit from this information, please do not hesitate to forward them the link to this video so they too can learn what their best options are. We're on standby, always here to assist any borrower that wants to move from debt to wealth building and want to meet other financial goals like buy a house, save for retirement, whatever your goals are. We're here to assist you get on that pathway. So have a good rest of your week.